Good afternoon. What's going on? It's Monday. I want to do my weekly vlog and fill everybody in on all the good things that are happening in my world. Continue to document the journey that I'm going through. Document the whole process. So hey Corliss, what's up, Marianne? How are you? So I want to jump right in. Want to talk about just coming off a great weekend. Just got back from Ocean City. Got a couple days away, even though it was rainy, with some friends, and got a chance to recharge the battery a little bit. What's up, Lisa? Some good stuff. Coming back, working on the book a lot. I sold the first 60 copies. I'm actually out of books right now. Sent them out to all the pre-orders, sold some copies. Some more. I actually have some of my people that have ordered online, so I just went ahead and paid for the first batch, and now I'm ordering another 250 copies because he's going to go ahead and give me a credit and allow me to pay him when I sell them. So I get a pretty significant discount when I order a large batch. I think I paid like $7 a book for the first batch because I only ordered 50. So now I'm paying like a couple dollars for the next batch because I'm ordering so many. So I'm excited. I'm excited that people are liking the book. I've gotten really good feedback. I've been getting emails from people. I got an email from somebody in London, England the other day, and just people that are really inspired and encouraged by the story, and they're like, you know, they're grateful to know that there's other people out there like them, you know, and that it encourages them, I guess, to wait and inspires them that, hey, they're not alone. So it's been really cool. It's been, you know, it's something that I didn't think a lot about the positive feedback and the impact. But it's a really cool reward. So I literally have sent copies out now of the book to Ireland, to France, to Norway, to Korea, and to Canada, and as well as cities all across the United States. So it's pretty neat that you know, when you see an order come in from like another country, it's pretty wild, you know, to think, wow, this is, you know, this message is getting out to, you know, different countries even. And I shared this before, I recently had a YouTube video, 10 reasons not to have sex before marriage, go kind of viral on YouTube. It's got, I think, 223,000 views right now. And it's, you know, like I said, I've gotten messages from people in all different countries all around the world, and now we're starting to get messages from people that are wanting to start CityFam. So I think last time I made a video I talked a little bit about this, but literally there's been 2 or 3 more just this week. So we got a message from somebody in Jakarta, Indonesia this week, and then we got a message from somebody somewhere in California, maybe Santa Monica, this week, and then we got a message from, I forget, but there's at least 8 different cities in the United States where people are really, Indianapolis was the other place. So people that are really serious about, you like my collar shirt? You like that? Yeah, so people are really responding to this because they're like, you know, and I've said this for a while. When I set out on this journey, originally when I started doing this, for the first 6 years, it was in 2000. So that was, what, 18 years ago. And I was, you know, personally, I was looking for a group of people to hang out with because I was like, I still want to have a good time. I just don't want to do things that I now believe are wrong, right? And I couldn't find a group. They just weren't out there. And that's eventually when I went back to the bars because I just wanted to be around people again. I got lonely. And I picked up all my old bad habits and, you know, ended up back to where I started, except I knew better. It was the difference, and so it was worse. And so I know that there's more people out there like me, like us, and that was really the reason that we created CityFam. It was basically like, hey, you know, fun without regret. Let's give back. Let's help some people. Let's help each other become the best version of ourselves, and let's have a good time too. Let's go do some fun stuff too. It's not all just about, you know, sitting around and you know, life coaching or not drinking or going to church or whatever your thing is, that whatever path that you're on. It's like, hey, let's have some fun too. Because I used to have a lot of fun with regret, now I just want to have fun without regret. I just don't want to wake up on Monday going, damn, I shouldn't have done that. You know, so that's really why we created CityFam. So like when we started, we've always said, like, well, there's more people out there like us. There's a lot of them, actually. I'm sure there's a lot more than we even believe. And as this message gets out, we're gonna find them. And how we're finding them right now just so happens to be through that YouTube video. Because again, it's got 223,000 views, and every time I check it, it literally goes up a couple thousand views every day, if not more. One day I went up 30,000 views. And as these people send messages, what we're gonna do is we're gonna give them, so we developed a small group curriculum for the book. So the book is Why Waiting Works. I haven't even mentioned that, but I wrote a book recently on the practical benefits of waiting to have sex, right? And waiting till marriage. Because again, this is someone that's lived on polar ends of the spectrum. So most of the comments have been really positive on YouTube, but a few of the comments, people were trying to debate me. And I always say to them, look, I've done what you've done. You haven't done what I've done, so you don't know. You're just stating your opinion. You're coming up with this theory in your head. First off, the research, there's plenty of research on it, and all the research supports what I know now is true, which is there are benefits to waiting to have sex because I did it. On top of that, I have the real life experience of someone that had all the sex with all the people and now has had none of the sex, you know, for a long period of time, and I can see the benefit. One way is super hard. I will not deny that. Not having sex is freaking really, really difficult. But just like working out, just like every other form of delayed gratification, there's a benefit to it if you're able to do it. And I can explain it really practically, maybe better than anyone on earth. So, you know, I put out this book, you know, before the book though, I put out the YouTube video. I think I posted it in May of last year. And just in the last like 3 or 4 weeks, it's literally taken off. It's got, like I said, over 220,000 views. And now I'm getting messages from different people in parts of the world, and they're like, hey, this CityFam thing is awesome. We want to start one where we live. And we're figuring out what that looks like. And we developed a small group curriculum for the book, Why Waiting Works, which, you know, really to me is a great segue for people to start a CityFam chapter, because it's, you know, it doesn't mean that you necessarily have to believe what the book says. I mean, you could still be having sex, but you could get into a group of people, guys and girls, and you could talk about, is there value to this? Is there any validity to what this guy is saying? And then during that 8 weeks, you do a social and a service event. You know, and you meet in somebody's house, you talk about the books, and then you do a social and a service event. And honestly, if you know, to me, that's the beginning of a CityFam, because that's really kind of how we started, was just a group of people that were basically trying to live life with no regrets, hanging out with each other, help each other a little bit, socialize, serve together. You know, were people sleeping together? Some of them might have been, I don't know, I wasn't, but I wouldn't doubt that some of them were, because we're human. But yeah, to me, that's the start. And honestly, like, I feel like I'm rambling a little bit, but it makes sense to me. You know, if you go back to some of my former videos where I talk about home, like God gave me this vision for this place, home, this bar, this coffee shop bar, and people were gonna come from all over the world to this place. Like, we're getting messages now from people all over the world, London, Jakarta, you know, people ordering the book in different cities, you know, or countries in the world. And I believe that this is the beginning of what you're gonna see take place in the future. And I'm calling it now because, you know, I can't predict the future. You know, I don't have a crystal ball, but this is what I believe is the start of all that, something that I've been mentioning for years. So anyway, it's exciting. You know, we're just working at the office. We're working hard every day, trying to set ourselves up for that, because, you know, CityFam has been around for a few years, but it's still small. You know, like we're just this Baltimore group with big dreams to fix a huge problem. So we're working on, you know, shoring up our systems, making sure we have good standard operating procedures, making sure our organizational chart is right, we have a budget. And we're doing all this with like a baloney budget, because we don't get funding, you know, like all the money that we have is basically our members and volunteering, you know, like at the Orioles game, selling hot dogs, we get a percentage of our sales. And, you know, recently we got denied a $10,000 grant from Baltimore City Public Health Department that we were encouraged to apply for. And, you know, like get funded. We haven't gotten money. We're doing all this with the help of a few members, about 100. I think we have 117 members, and a few donors. And but it's good, you know. Like we honestly believe that we'll continue to find a way, and we're gonna solve a huge problem. So I know I'm a little all over the place today, but everything kind of, you know, jumbles together a little bit. The book, City Fam, and home all kind of you know, jumble together. So back to the book, that's where we're at with it. We got a small group curriculum that we just built out. We're going to launch a beta group in September. We're going to start giving out the curriculum to people that are interested, and starting a group in other cities, and we're going to let them you know, get some friends together and get together in a house and do the Why Waiting Works curriculum and do a social and a service event. And if they do all that, then we're going to go ahead and put them through a process where they can actually start a City Fam in their city. And I know it's like, well, how does Why Waiting Works have to do with City Fam? Well, first off, we're going to give them the small group curriculum. They're not going to have to buy it. If they do buy a book, an ebook, we're going to have all that money go into City Fam. So Why Waiting Works is going to become a revenue generator for City Fam. So there's that. But secondly, and this is the part where you start talking about, well, I don't ever want City Fam to be thrown in the, hey, we're the no sex before marriage group. You know what I mean? Because not everybody believes that. And I would never want someone that didn't believe in that to not feel welcome. However, I will say this, that anybody with a brain should be able to figure out that sex without commitment is anti-community. Think about it. If I have sex with you, like whatever girl, if I have sex with girl A, and then I say to girl A, hey, girl A, I don't want to have sex with you anymore. I want to go have sex with girl B. Guess what? Girl A is gone. She's not my friend anymore. I'm an asshole. It doesn't matter if I was honest with her up front. If I told her I didn't want a relationship, she's still gone, right? So I just lost that girl as a friend. Therefore, sex without commitment is anti-community. If what City Fam is all about is community and bringing people together and helping them form relationships so that they can become the best version of themselves, then a natural fit is not, you know, to teach people the value in not having sex without commitment. So there is a natural marriage there. Now, it doesn't mean you have to agree with me to come into City Fam. Look, I went, you know, I don't care what you believe. Come in, hang out. Maybe you'll find value in it after a while. Maybe you won't. Maybe the culture will spit you out, you know, which has happened before. I'm not sure. That's up to you to figure out. Just like, you know, City Fam isn't the sober group. We're not, you know, you could be a drunk. You could be on drugs and come in City Fam. We're just saying, look, if you hang out with us long enough, you won't want to do those things, because we're going to replace whatever that void is that's causing you to want to do those things. We're going to fill it with good people and community and love, and then you won't want those things. Now, maybe you decide down the road you still want those things and you stop going around, but that's on you. But either way, my point is we don't want to put ourselves in a box and say we're this one kind of group. We're not, but I do believe that there's a natural correlation there between waiting and community, you know, and I think that anybody with a brain should be able to see that. So anyway, that's what's going on with it. The book's going to be out on Amazon on August 6th. Super excited about that. I probably sent out about 160 advanced readers copies to people that requested them, letting them, you know, read it in exchange for a review on Amazon. And I've gotten really good feedback. Like, it definitely was a God thing, because I'm not a writer, and the book came out really good. And you know, I don't see any other way that it came out as good as it did without, you know, his help. I actually tried to hire a ghostwriter a couple times. Number one, I didn't have the money, but then the little bit of money I could try to get together, you know, it just was a mess. Like, God shut every door on me, and he was like, no, you do it. And it forced me to write it, and it was super painful, but it came out really good. And people, you know, if you know me, I'm an open book. I'm completely transparent. I talk about everything that I did wrong, and I'm super honest about it, and I make myself look like a douchebag in a lot of ways, you know, because I'm honest, and I was a douche, and but people are seeing, you know, value, and I really kind of view myself as a whistleblower, because I was on that side and I'm telling the truth about it all. So you know, We'll have ebooks out soon. Right now, there are copies on whywaitingworks.com if you'd like to get a copy. If you want to get an ebook, like I said, they'll be up soon. And then we have the small group curriculum. So if you're interested in starting a small group, a Why Waiting Works small group, hit me up if you see this. We'll give you the curriculum and you can start one. It'll be 8 weeks. Like I said, we're encouraging people to do it on a Friday or a Saturday night. And then 6 of the weeks we'll be talking about the book, but 2 of the weeks, one week will be a social event and 1 week will be a service event. And basically at the end of the 8 weeks, you got a City Fam, because you just did 8 weeks with this group of people that you got great platonic friendships with, that you socialize with, that you serve with, and hopefully it turns into a City Fam in all these other cities. So, we're believing that that's what's going to happen, and we're just working, trying to make sure that we're ready for that. So that's it. I've talked a lot. What else? Okay, City Fam, what's happening there? We have a couple events coming up. Not this weekend. This weekend we have a leadership retreat, so super excited about that. We're going to this camp. I think it's called Oak Hill in Pennsylvania, where it's going to be about 20 of us, a bunch of the people that are on leadership at City Fam, and we're going to go and they have zip lining and canoeing and fishing and all kinds of stuff, so it'll be cool to get away. We're doing something at the end of August, so like if you heard that and you're like, man, I'd like to do that, or maybe I'd like to be on City Fam leadership, we're going to do something at the end of August called Path to Purpose. And Path to Purpose is an onboarding into leadership. So this way you see all that we're doing. It takes an army to pull off all these things that we're doing. And, we want your help. We want you to be involved. Number one, for you, because when you start making a difference in the life of another person, your life will take on new meaning. So we want you to be involved for you, but we also want you to be involved because we have big dreams, big hopes. We want to, change the world, and it's going to take a lot of people to do that. So Path to Purpose, it's on, I'm not sure if it's on Facebook, but it is on the City Fam website. So if you'd like to sign up, come out, you'll take a leadership assessment test, you'll figure out how you're wired, what you're good at, and then we'll try to match you up with a position that suits your personality and your skill set. So that's at the end of August. But so this weekend we have leadership conference. Next weekend we'll be at the Sandlot for Renegade. This was our biggest Renegade of the year last year in 2017. We had like 100 and some people there. We'll be playing bocce, right on the water. If you guys haven't been to Sandlot, it's an amazing venue over in Harbor East. Come check it out. You can find more details about that on cityfam.com as well. And then on August 18th, our service project for August is we're going to be partnered with Movable Feast and Be More Caring. So Movable Feast does a lot to help people that are living below the poverty line with AIDS and cancer in Baltimore City and beyond. So we'll be there making meals. We'll have about 20 people there, and then we'll have probably 30 plus people over in Glen Burnie helping Be More Caring. My buddy Josh Hansjörg does a lot with the homeless over there, so we'll be doing that, and that's on a Saturday. So you can sign up for that. And again, why we do it is because when you serve, you become a better version of yourself. A lot of people want to give back, they don't know how. We're a pretty cool group of people, so we make it fun, we make it easy for people to jump in and start getting their hands dirty and giving back in their community. So August 18th. Lastly, I want to talk about home. So first off, just want to thank everybody that is a contributing member. We have 117 people that are giving to us on a monthly basis, or at least made a annual donation. And where we're at with home is, I really wish I had some answers to give you guys, and I don't. I'm sorry. Where we're at with home is this. As most people that are watching this should know, is we were in the middle of a membership campaign, got the terms of the lease. They were extraordinarily high, and we said, okay, well, we can't rent this place. Now we have to look into buying it, because at that point the rent would be doable. And so we started to try to figure out what that looked like, and we started looking for investors and have a business plan together. And that's just where we're at. The next step is we're launching an equity crowdfunding campaign. So most people watching this will probably know what crowdfunding is. Sorry, it's raining here. I'm not sure if you guys can hear that, but it's kind of loud. Most people will know what crowdfunding is. So there's equity crowdfunding, where you can actually get people to give, and they get like a percentage of the business. They actually can buy into it and earn shares. So that's what's next for us. Is we're going to film an equity crowdfunding campaign next week. and then launch it the following week. So 2 weeks, let's say from today approximately, we'll be launching that campaign and hoping to raise, you know, $2 million, if not more, in order to buy the building. I know it sounds like a lot of money. It sounds crazy. It sounds crazy to me when I say it. But I also know that, you know, that with God, nothing's impossible. And I know that you know, you might not know this. No one watching this will know this except me, but I know that I got that vision from him. And I don't have an answer, and I feel irresponsible telling people like I don't have an answer when I know that they're giving $10 or $25 or $40 a month. And part of the membership money is supposed to be for a discount to home, and home is not moving toward opening. But I can't stop trying, number one, or waiting for him. Really, it's not even a matter of trying. That's why I guess I feel irresponsible, because I'm not out. Like, at least when it was the membership the membership campaign was going, I was doing everything that I could, like working. And now I'm like, I'm not doing anything. And really, I'm waiting. I'm putting this campaign together, but I'm kind of waiting for him to come through. And I'll just share a couple of stories with you, like, just so you know where my head's at. So, you know, I've said in a previous video, like, I feel like I'm at the wall of the promised land. Like, I've received this vision, you know, from God or whatever, and I went through the wilderness. Like, I left slavery, which for me, slavery was nightclub promoting and, you know, women and drugs and alcohol. I was in slavery. I was in Egypt. And I went through the wilderness, you know, these last, let's say, 6 years, actually longer than that, but just let's say 6 years. And it was very hard. And now, you know, I'm standing at the wall, like, home is available. The building's for sale, you know what I mean? And I know exactly what to do. You know, I have a very clear idea of what should happen, and we have this nonprofit that's ready to go in there and be the tenant. But at the end of the day, there's this wall, and the wall is the money to buy it. And I'm like looking at it going, how do we get in there? And that's just where my mind's been, right? And I went to this thing called Creation Festival. I don't know, it was a couple weeks ago, and I bought this bracelet. It was like this black beaded bracelet, and it had all these verses, different bracelets with different verses. And I picked the one from Joshua on 1:9. It said, "Be strong and courageous," because it was what you know, God said to Joshua when he was getting ready, or maybe it was Moses. I don't remember if it was Moses or God that said it to him. But either way, it was when he was about to go into the promised land. You know, he said, "Be strong and courageous." And I was like, I bought that bracelet because I was like, that's just where I'm at right now. Like, I feel like I'm about to go in. I just don't know how it's going to happen. And I'm really just waiting on a miracle. And then I've been reading this book called The Circle Maker. And I had this book for like 3 years. And I hadn't cracked it open. And I just opened it recently. And I did a mini fast last week with Epic. They were doing a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I just did like a social media on my phone. I'm gonna pray about home during this fast. And then the first day that I cracked it, the book open where I had stopped, the next whole chapter was all about the promised land, all about Joshua and Jericho and how God, you know, did this incredible thing. And I'm like, man, that can't be a coincidence. It just can't be. So right now, you know, we're working on the equity crowdfunding campaign. I don't have an answer. I'm still looking for investors passively. Like, I'm not out beating down the doors. I'm just kind of waiting to see what God does, because he gave me the vision, and if he gave me the vision, then he's got to make it happen. He's got to give me the provision. So, you know, that's kind of what I'm waiting on to see. It might sound crazy to some, you know, because I'm not, you know, like, maybe, you know, people might give me different opinions of how I should be proceeding, but that's just what I think. Now, if it doesn't happen, you know, then if I'm wrong about all this, then the building will sell, somebody else will buy it, somebody else will rent it, and we'll miss it, you know. But if I'm right, then I believe we're about to see a miracle. So that's just where we're at with home. I appreciate everybody's patience, anybody that's giving, you know, to City Fam. You are enabling us to keep this thing moving forward as we kind of navigate our way through, and I appreciate you guys. That's it. Talk to you later.